Hi, I'm Dave and I've been testing a solar-powered trail camera during the winter months here in Pennsylvania. Now, some of the challenges that this camera faced, not only the cold temperatures, but I operated the camera on video mode, which can be extremely demanding on a camera's batteries. The catch is I didn't put in a single AA battery. That's right, this camera comes with an internal rechargeable battery that's powered by that solar panel. In this review, I'll tell you how the camera performed, I'll show you videos that it has recorded, I'll talk about some features that this camera offers, and in the end I'll give you the pros and cons as I see it after actually using this trail camera. Today it's the Voopeak TC08. The Voopeak TC08 is a solar-powered trail camera with an integrated solar panel right on top of the camera. It has a built-in 4400 milliamp battery and advertises a 4K video at 30 frames per second. This camera has a built-in Wi-Fi feature that works in conjunction with a Bluetooth connection. This camera offers loop recording and has low glow 850 nm IR lights. Along with the built-in rechargeable batteries, this camera also offers the option to run an additional 4 AA batteries for additional power. The durable design of this camera offers up to IP66 waterproof rating. There's a place for a Python cable for additional security if you choose. Of course, you can place a tree strap, and it has a 1/4 mount for additional mounting options. And the camera comes with a charging cable and mounting hardware. Now, I'm going to talk more about that Wi-Fi feature because there's always lots of questions centered around that. But first, I want to show some videos that this camera has recorded. I've been impressed. See what you think. I wanted to talk a bit about the battery life of this trail camera. As I mentioned in the opening, you have the option of using 4 AA batteries, but you can operate this camera on the internal rechargeable battery that's powered by that solar panel. Now, that solar panel on top only charges that internal rechargeable battery. It will not charge the 4 AA batteries if you choose to put them in the camera. So again, to reiterate, the solar panel charges the internal battery of the camera. It will not charge your 4 AA batteries. Now, during my entire duration of the test, I did not use any AA batteries, and this was simply to test the camera's capabilities on that internal battery. I wanted to see really how good it would perform in the cold temperatures on video mode. If you take note of the sample videos that I have shown and continue to show, on the bottom of the video in the information strip, it gives a readout of the remaining battery power in a percentage. So you can see not only what the temperature was while it was recording the video, but it also gives a live battery reading. You will take note that it fluctuates some, especially in cold weather and at nighttime. In my opinion, operating a trail camera on video mode at nighttime in the cold temperatures is the ultimate torture test for any trail camera. And this trail camera performed well. In all of my testing, I have not seen those internal batteries drop below 50%, which is pretty amazing for not only the cold temperatures, but because of that video mode. Next, let's talk about that Wi-Fi feature. This camera does offer a Wi-Fi function, but there is some confusion around what that means. This camera cannot automatically send you photos or videos. This camera's Wi-Fi option means that the camera itself produces the Wi-Fi signal that you can log into with your smartphone. You can download the free app, and when you're in close proximity, maybe 50 or 75 feet away from the trail camera, your smartphone can log into the camera's Wi-Fi, thus giving you access not only to the photo gallery from the trail camera, but you can also set up the trail camera settings. You can go through the menu and customize the settings right there from your smartphone through the Wi-Fi connection. This Wi-Fi connection is also a great way to get those photos or videos to your smartphone. Again, it won't automatically send those photos, but when you do connect to this camera's Wi-Fi, you can download those photos onto your smartphone. So if there's some great pictures on this camera that you want to get to your smartphone, you can simply use this Wi-Fi feature to transfer those photos and videos to your smartphone. I've used this feature and it works well. Keep in mind with videos, it will take a little bit of time to download videos through the Wi-Fi to your smartphone, but it can be done. The last thing I'll mention about this Wi-Fi feature is the fact that I love using this feature to set this camera up. When I originally set the trail camera up over a trail, I like to make sure that the camera's angled in the right direction and it's capturing exactly what I want it to. By using this free app and connecting to the camera's Wi-Fi signal, I get a live feed of exactly what the camera lens is seeing. That means I can strap this camera to the tree, simply watching my smartphone walk out in front of the trail camera, make some adjustments to make sure the camera has the perfect angle, all while watching the live view on my smartphone. It makes getting that perfect trail camera set up quick and easy. So I wanted to do an audio test from about 10 to 15 feet away from the trail camera, and this is the audio test. You can judge how well you can hear me. You can also listen for ambient sounds. Besides the audio test, I also wanted to test the camera's trigger speed. For this, I simply walked in front of the camera at the 15, 30 foot, and 60 foot mark. I put the camera on photo mode and on 3 photo burst. You can also take note of the photo quality during this test, as these were the only example photos I had because I operated this camera on video mode otherwise. In my opinion, the camera performed well and captured me on all 3 photos at each of the distances, 15, 30, and 60 feet. It is now time for my final thoughts, where I give you the pros and cons as I see it after actually using this camera. Let's start off with the positives. The battery life was excellent with this camera. As I already mentioned, I operated this camera without ever installing a single AA battery, although you have the option of putting in 4 AA batteries, and this camera performed well with the internal battery and the integrated solar panel. During my testing, we did have snowfall numerous times, and although we don't get heavy snow here in Pennsylvania, there were times we would get 4 to 6 inches of snow. Now with that said, if you're in an area that gets significant snowfall, it is possible for the snow to pile up on top of that solar panel. If that's the case in your area, you may need to swipe off some of the snow to keep that internal battery charging with the solar panel. Another positive was the video quality. I thought this camera performed very well, and I was more than pleased with the quality of the videos, both daytime and nighttime. The last positive that I'll touch on is again that Wi-Fi feature in conjunction with the free app. This worked very well for me and actually exceeded my expectations, as in the past, sometimes that Wi-Fi wouldn't connect until you were very close to the camera with some other models that feature this Wi-Fi option. In this case, I was pleased with how well this performed. In fact, in my testing, I was more than 100 feet away and inside my truck, and I was able to connect to this camera. That means not only transferring photos and videos over to your smartphone, but it also means that you can adjust the camera's setting without actually walking directly up to the camera, and better yet, without touching the camera. So in my opinion, this feature has been improved, and this particular model works better than most previous Wi-Fi cameras I've used. As a disclaimer, again, this camera cannot automatically send you photos and videos. You cannot put this in your backyard and connect it to your home's Wi-Fi and have it automatically send photos and videos. It cannot do that. But when you use the free app and you get close enough with your smartphone, you can connect to this camera, not only see the photo gallery, but transfer photos and videos over to your smartphone. Now, are there any negatives or cons or things that I would change if I could? If you will notice in the nighttime videos, it definitely has a bright spot or a hot spot, as I call it, directly in the center of the video. The further away you get and out towards the edges of the video, you get less light from the IR bulbs. Personally, I like a more even distribution of the nighttime IR. That would be one negative. The only other negative I'll mention is a bit of a nitpick, but this camera operates on a micro SD card. I realize many folks out there prefer the full-size SD card versus the micro, and I would tend to agree. It is rather difficult to install the micro SD. You have the fear of dropping it or losing it in the leaves below, and you can totally forget about installing it with gloves on. That is virtually impossible. So the last negative that I'll mention, or something that I would love to see different, is to have this camera utilize a full-size SD card versus the micro SD. So those were my thoughts. Overall, I couldn't be happier with this camera's performance. I love the fact that I can operate this camera without ever installing a AA battery, and I've proven it has done well even in colder weathers. Do keep in mind that cold is relative, and during my testing, cold meant single digits. So if you live in a climate that is below zero for extended periods of time, you could see different results. I'll be placing a link down in the description for this camera. It is an affiliate link, so if you choose to make a purchase, I do receive a small commission, and I want to thank you in advance. If you have any questions or comments, or maybe something that I totally missed in this review but you're curious about, please leave me a comment down in the comment section. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.